World movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. You all once again. I love you all truly and appreciate each and every last one of you checking me out, hearing what I got to say, trying to continue to build what? The worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right, man, please continue to like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody you know. Tell some folks you don't know. And I have been neglecting to remind everyone, please click the notification bell. I think that a lot of folks are not getting the notifications. Okay, I'm gonna try to be as succinct as possible here, but certainly an important subject. We're calling this one, let's not take the love making out of making babies. All right, now, what do I mean by that? Well, folks, we are disturbingly becoming increasingly more unnatural, right? And at least to my estimation, there's a concerning sentiment amongst the more tech-driven, we'll say, individuals and groups who have a mindset that human beings are inferior to machines, to computers, and most notably to AI, artificial intelligence. You know, I've heard Mr. Musk and several others making the references that, you know, this AI already are far, far, far more intelligent than any human being on the planet, right? Okay. First of all, that's very misleading. The premise of computers and all this artificial intelligence in the first place is copying human beings. All right. Second of all, folks, the biggest flaw in that is the fact that we still don't even know how intelligent the most intelligent human being on the planet is or could be. Why? Because we're still walking around with only 30% efficacy of our DNA. That's right, folks. You're only operating about 30% of what you are designed to operate at. All right. So even the most quote unquote, right, quantifiable, intelligent folks amongst us, those that have been observed at least, are generally only operating at about 30%. So what you're basing that standard off of is a human being that is only operating at 30%, right? So that statement is so flawed, it's ridiculous, right? And the concept, right, itself, that we are creating these machines and artificial intelligence that make us obsolete, is an ill-gotten concept, right? In my estimation, and unfortunately, this is the result of individuals who may go through some trying times in their childhood and grow up with their best friend being their computer, right? Folks, we have to realize that there's a whole generation of people, right? Or a whole faction of the population that has grown up as a generation whose best friend is their computer, who do not generally have a high esteem for people. And unfortunately, you can understand that in many instances. A lot of these folks have been picked on, called nerds, and bullied most of their life. And unfortunately, some of these folks have truly developed a disdain for other human beings, right? Coincidentally, if you believe in coincidences, which I don't, but along with that, many of these individuals hold positions in corporations that invest heavily in tech, right? Many of them are conceptually at the beginning or at the forefront of the development of these new technologies that unfortunately have begun to steer themselves in the direction of human beings being obsolete and inferior, right? Folks, we have gotten so enamored, some of us, and some of these individuals and organizations I'm referring to have gotten so enamored with artificial intelligence and the concept of us evolving ourselves by, in various ways, melding with machines, right? I'm not exaggerating, folks. There are individuals who see our best evolutionary path as one that results in us being essentially cybernetic organisms. Do the research, folks. Some of your most wealthy and powerful socioeconomic elites hold this mind state, right? Hold this concept that drives them in the direction they want to take technology, right? Folks, there are, and this brings me to what I'm labeling the title of the video. This is spilled over into reproduction, right? Folks, they have artificial wombs, right? Where they can grow a human being without needing a woman in an artificial womb. Let's think about that for a moment. We've seen through artificial insemination the beginning of the thought of, well, we can start to try and make man obsolete in this equation of reproduction. We can just inseminate you with the sperm. There needs to be no lovemaking needs to take place. I'll get to why I keep mentioning lovemaking in a moment. So we have all these different ways now that they can actually not physically need a man or woman to carry out the birthing process. You heard the term thrown around loosely years ago, test tube baby. That's real, right? Currently, that is a reality and has been, quite frankly, for quite some time. Yes, folks, we need to see that we've gotten incredibly artificial and unnatural. Artificial is unnatural, right? You even look at where it has spilled into human sexuality. More and more machinery, right? Folks, you know what I'm talking about. Is becoming perversely commonplace in the field of human sexuality. What does that have to do with it? That's tying directly back into having an artificial pathway to life, right? Folks, the reason I kept putting emphasis on lovemaking is because that is an essential part in natural conception. Well, folks, many of you may say, my children weren't even planned and this and that. The basis of human connection, the basis of attraction between man and woman, even though societally so many different mechanisms have been put in place to pervert that relationship, but the basis of attraction and connection between man and woman is love. What is love? Love is the energy of cohesion, coming together. And in that process, you're coming together to create new life. That's love, folks, right? Whether the two parents go on to have a relationship or a marriage after that is irrelevant in terms of what that moment was, for the most part. We know that, and I acknowledge that there are some situations, i.e. rape, etc., that don't fall into that and are not ideal. It's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the concept of man and woman coming together to produce new life, beautiful new life, these new babies, making love to make babies, and not going into a laboratory or some artificial setting to create life. This is the path they want to send us down, folks, because of that underlying theme that is steering a lot of their technological advancements. And when I say they, I'm referring to the socio-economic elite, and particularly those who are so enamored with technology and artificial intelligence, right? That underlying theme of human inferiority and of us evolving by melding more and in more intimate ways with machinery is exactly what drives that kind of technology, right? That, along with the fact that someone has to control that technology, right? All right. So if there is a technology, or a strong technological aspect that is placed or intertwined with the creation of human life, then someone is now entering into the realm of having ownership or control over that process for everyone. They're privatizing or corporatizing conception, human conception. Folks, if we got up in arms about the thought of cloning, of human cloning, first of all, that's been successfully done. Do not believe statements to the contrary, but I won't put it like this. I'll say it in this way. I believe it's been successfully done. And if you do research in the subject, you may feel a similar way. I'll leave it at that. But if we feel up in arms about that concept, where are we on what is happening with these artificial wombs, right? With where they have taken the genetic sort of grocery shopping list that they're offering parents now. What do you want your child to look like? What do you want your child's height to be? The color of their hair, and all these different quote unquote controllable physical aspects. So, folks, the general theme, again, is human inferiority and a pathway to evolution that involves us melding with machines. Because in the mind state of these individuals, we are inferior to AI and to machines. And I pose the contrary argument that, again, We have no idea what heights we can reach as a civilization. We have no idea what the most intelligent or what the most advanced human being looks like. Because we are not that. And we have taken our focus away from our own betterment, right, naturally, to an artificial path of evolution. Or at least that's what's being proposed. And I'm saying that we need to pump the brakes, recognize that that's being proposed, and look at our own value, right? And realize that it's a much more wise path for us to focus on our own natural evolution, for us to get really focused on 100% efficacy of human DNA and go down that pathway of advancement to see and realize what the best of humanity can truly offer, right? Okay, folks. Once again, I love you. I thank you all. Please, please help me to continue to do what? To build the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Hit your notification button. Let's build this movement. All right. Big King Sadiq, I'm out.